was disgusting. Like, I didn't understand what was going on, you know. It just went on for the whole time I was at Bella Vista, and then the bus routes changed. At first, I was relieved because I thought I was going to be going to a new school, because I was going to Ridgecrest Elementary, and I thought, great, I'm going to get away from those kids, forgetting that most of them, lived at the same apartments I did. So guess who else was going to be going to Ridgecrest? Them. So it carried over to that school, and the teachers there cared even less, you know? They cared even less. In fact, one of them, Miss Giles, I have no problem saying her name because F this woman. And I'll get to why here in a second. This woman got me in trouble so many times for things I didn't do. Okay? I mean, there was Miss Hartle, my 3rd grade teacher. I know I'm jumping back and forth in timeline, but I forgot to talk about her, Miss Hartle. This teacher was so bad, Miss Hartle. I would never say anything rude to an adult, okay? I respect my adults, but I remember I was so angry because I had told her every single day that I was being harassed by the kids sitting next to me. She did nothing, continued to do nothing. In fact, she got me in trouble, kept sending emails to my mom saying that I was being a troubled child. So one day I was so done with it, I'm like, I freaking hate you, right to her face. Best believe that got home. I was grounded for a month. And I don't blame my parents for this. I don't blame my mom for this. I didn't tell her what was going on. If I did, it probably would have been a different story. But it is what it is, I guess. But anyways, back to Miss Giles. This woman, at this point, my mom was starting to catch on to what was going on, and she was starting to understand that I was getting bullied horrifically, constantly, so my mom was starting to catch on to this. But one day, I found a lighter on the school ground, and I turned it in to Miss Giles. Next thing I know, I'm in the principal's office because I threatened to burn the school down. I turned the lighter into the teacher, and then I threatened to burn the school down. We're going to be calling your parents and telling them that you threatened to burn the school down, and we're also going to be considered expulsion. You're going to expel me for turning the lighter into the teacher, which you told me to do. My mom came in, and we left the school, and as soon as we left the building, my mom looked at me and she said, look, I know you didn't threaten to burn the school down, so you're not in any trouble. So I'm like, kind of relieved that my mom is a smart person, and I'm glad she is. My mom is one of the smartest, if not the smartest person I know. And I'm so glad that she is. Because if she wasn't, I'd still be grounded to this day. But my bullying continued till 5th grade, so I was bullied for probably about 5 years. And then we moved to Eagle Mountain, Utah. And at this point, I was so far down my spiral of depression and suicidal thoughts. I was an aggressive, angry child, you know. I went to Pony Express. I was still wearing long sleeve shirts. I had long hair at the time. And so they started calling me emo kid. Emo kid. And I remember that would make me so angry. I remember I actually started punching people for saying that. So I was in the office constantly for starting fights. And the thing is with Pony Express, they had terrible communication skills, so that information didn't get back to my parents. And when I caught on to that, I didn't care. One time I actually started a riot in the lunchroom. We were sitting in the lunchroom, and there was this kid who I knew was controversial amongst the other students. Some kids loved him, some kids hated him. And I knew this. So I went and I sat next to the kid, and I punched him in the side of the head. The kids who loved him defended him, and the kids who hated him fought against them. So it was basically a war in the lunchroom. And it took pretty much the entire staff of the school. I don't know if my sister will remember this, because I think she was there that day. But I remember teachers running into the lunchroom trying to stop the fight. I remember 2 kids ended up going to the hospital. Not proud of that at all, but I mean, I didn't do it. You know, that was the other. They did that to themselves, or other kids did it to them. But I sparked the riot, which I'm not proud of. And I guess they knew that it was me, because a couple days later, Mr. Newell, my 6th grade teacher, sat me in the classroom and he said, "You're the one who started the riot, weren't you?" I'm like, sure, yeah. And he said, "Look, I understand you probably were bullied as a kid, weren't you?" And when he said that, I don't know why, but it kind of reached me in a way that no other teacher ever had. He's like, "You were bullied as a kid." I'm like, "Yeah, I was." He's like, "Here's what I want you to do." And much to my surprise, I actually heard him out. He said, "I want you to cut your hair. I want you to wear short sleeve shirts. And I want you to go on walks, hour every day." Sorry for all the noise. But I took his advice. I asked my dad to get my hair cut. I put on a short sleeve shirt. We went and bought some short sleeve shirts, and I started going on walks. After about a year, and this is how sure I was it was going to work, I actually did it for a whole year, and then eventually it started working. My depression started going down. My social anxiety disorder started going down. My suicidal thoughts started to weaken. Until eventually I was somewhat recovered, and then started middle school at Rockwell. And I made my first real friends. I was very happy about that. Then after that, we moved here to Pasco, and I looked up how many students were going to Chiawana, and I saw like over 3,000. I remember I was like, "There's no way I can go to this school. I couldn't handle Bella Vista, yet alone a school with 3,000 kids." Then I started school, and I realized that the kids here are like, the meanest kid here is nicer than the nicest kids at Bella Vista. You know, this place is nowhere near as bad. So I'm glad we moved out here, because I've never had more friends. I've never been happier. But yeah, that's my bullying story. This was a really hard video for me to make. I didn't make this video for a pity party, alright? I made this to reach out to people who feel like it's hopeless. And I want to say it's never hopeless. You know, as far down the barrel as you may seem, it's never hopeless. Your life will change eventually. It did for me, so why wouldn't it for you? And I want to say thank you to all of my friends on Facebook. I love every single one of you. Every single one of you has changed my life in some way, shape, or form, and I hope I've done the same for you. Alright guys, I'm pretty sure this video is probably going to have to be split into two. I'm not sure. But this has gone on for long enough, so I gotta cut it off. Alright guys, have a wonderful Wednesday. Peace.